It's now time for What's Hot, where we talk about the stories that have us all talking.
We're joined today by Susie Falk from the Falk Group Public Relations and Jeff Wagner back with us. The proposed gentlemen's club got another no from the Milwaukee Common Council Licenses Committee. There was a 5-0 vote against the building of a Silk Exotic Club. This would be on Old World 3rd Street, downtown Milwaukee. Should they have allowed the club to go through?
Jeff, did I hear you chuckle
I did.
the name Gentlemen's Club?
Well, that's it. I mean, I chuckled, but right, it's the euphemism, Gentlemen's Club. It's a strip joint, okay? That's what it is. It might be a high-end strip joint, but it is a strip joint. Now, look, here's the bottom line. I do not patronize these places. I kind of find them to be sort of sad in many respects. But at the same time, you look at most of the major cities in this country, and they have places like this very near to the convention centers because when people come in, they want to patronize these places. I think the Common Council is just absolutely wrong here.
And I would agree with that. And you know, it is a job creator. You know, and certain types of people will visit these places and spend money, and it makes for more appealing downtown for many folks. I think the problem with the Common Council is they're not basically stating that morally they don't agree with this. They're blaming other reasons, congestion, and that the property values will go down in the neighborhood. It's just not true. If you look at other cities where they've built strip clubs, it's not going to happen. It's actually good for downtown, and I can't believe I'm saying that. But if the Common Council would just be honest.
You're looking at it from a business perspective.
Perspective. And you know, if morally they're against it, then just say morally we're against it.
This is the second time Silk tried to get into the Walker's Point area just over from the 3rd Ward, and that was shot down. And now, you know, this, I guess, made better sense because they at least positioned themselves near the convention center.
Well, right, and here's the other truth. I mean, that we do have strip clubs in Milwaukee, including, you know, a kind of low-rent strip club that's just a few blocks away from this. I mean, this is designed for a different type of clientele. It's designed to go after the conventioneers, and to me, I'm just a free market guy. Okay, open it up, maybe it'll work,
and
maybe
the
it won't.
operators, I guess, do a very nice job with this club. It's not the first one. They've got this Silk Exotic in other cities. I think there are 3 other locations, and supposedly they're good neighbors. One mayor in Juneau or whatever has actually written the Milwaukee Common Council to say, you know, they've been excellent neighbors and there's been no problem, and he suggested that the Common Council votes in favor.
You know, as a downtown resident, I get why they did this. The city has worked really hard over the last 10, 15 years to bring downtown back. And I see why members of the Common Council could see this as a step in the wrong direction.
Okay, but then look at some of the other places that they have. Some of the hip hop clubs where they have problems with police reports.
You know, they're cracking down on the Lady Bump Club too.
Some of the problems,
the police are getting heavy with them too.
I understand. Well, open up the place, and if they end up having problems, that's one thing. But you've got a lot of problem taverns that have been allowed to operate in the city. Look, this place charges, what, like $25 cover charge and things like that. I don't think this is going to be attracting that bad element. This is going to be attracting conventioneers who are going out to the west side to find it anyways.
All right, guys, we got to go.
All right, coming up next, we reveal
our viewer's choice topic of the day.
Again, we're joined by Susie Falk and Jeff Wagner from 620 WTMJ. All right, the topic our viewers chose: doctors are busting allergy myths. They say gluten allergies, not real. One doctor says gluten has been blamed for all that ails humanity. He says gluten allergy does not exist. Wheat is a recognized allergy, but a lot of people will misinterpret that as gluten. Do you believe there is no such thing as a gluten allergy?
Ban gluten from downtown. It's bad for you. No, you know, here's we're mincing words here.
Yeah.
I mean, gluten, maybe are not technically allergies to gluten, but gluten exacerbates celiac disease, folks. Celiac disease is sort of an autoimmune immune system issue, and so I mean, you know, whether it's an allergy or an immune system issue, whatever, it's causing a lot of people a lot of duress. So, you know, people be mindful, and if you don't feel well after you eat, you know, something with gluten in it, and just Google gluten, you can find out what it's in. Stop eating gluten. So
yeah, I think, again, I'm not sure I understand quite the point of these doctors' positions, because, right, yes, technically they are right, it is a wheat allergy, but nevertheless, it's a very realistic allergy that's out there, and for people that have it, you want to adopt the gluten-free diet, and life is a lot better for you. So I think you're right, you're mincing words on this particular thing. Bottom line is, if your system can't tolerate it, don't eat it.
Right. Other food options, you know, there's some rices are fine. The potatoes, I don't think have a lot of gluten in it.
Well, there are a lot of options now because it seems that, you know, this has been a market that's taken off, and a lot of people buy into it, whether or not they have celiacs or a gluten allergy. So there are a lot of options out there for people.
I
Now,
believe
being
Bud
said-
is a gluten-free beer. Bud.
Yeah, there is gluten-free beer.
Don't get me started on the FDA's decision today to ban trans fats. That's a whole other conversation here.
Then you know, Jeff, let's not. Let's get to the lightning round.
Okay.
Swedish, we'll save that for tomorrow. Swedish theaters are
You
launching.
just think you're so cute, don't you?
I know. Swedish theaters are launching a new rating system based on gender bias. To get an A rating, a movie must have at least 2 named female characters who talk to each other about something other than men. Do you think there is a need for this rating system?
Yeah, I want
Don't
it.
they have anything? The Swedes have life so figured out that this is what they can spend
They're
their time
bored.
doing.
See, I want this because this would be the chick flick warning. I mean, how many guys have gotten drawn into that film?
You know if it's going to be a chick flick.
Well,
Come on.
Well, also, and you know if it's going to be a guy flick. I mean, Saving Private Ryan and The Lord of the Rings and all those things, they would have gotten like the X ratings under this. But yeah.
Well, the truth of the matter is that there aren't enough female protagonists in movies, and if you do the research, it's something like 11% of all female protagonists, or all protagonists are females. So we do need, I think, more women in movies. I think they need more lead roles. I think there's a big problem in that area. I think this litmus test, though, is absolutely ridiculous because there's so many great movies that are out there that fail this litmus test. You know, Lord of the Rings. There's some others that are just Star Wars. You know, I mean, come on, folks. Yeah, let's be mindful of women in movies, but this isn't a good test.
I'm all in favor. I can give you a whole list of actresses that I'm all in favor of more of those actresses and more movies.
But I was going to say, don't guys like going to see movies that have attractive women in them?
Well, it depends. It depends what the movies are about, and it depends what the women are doing.
Oh. And we're back to the strip club.
This show right here gets an A.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The What's Hot discussion will continue.
But Courtney and
online.
I would have to have a conversation about something other than men. And with
And
you
that's
two
really
sitting
all we
here,
do.
what can we? Yeah, right.
Yeah, we don't have anything else to say.
All right, our discussion continues online. It's at tmj4.com/hot.
Coming up, Storm Team forecaster Brian.